folks, it is Diecast Buffet here again. We got a collection video once again on the channel. Every single diecast I have from the year 2010 will be showing in this video. Make sure to give it a huge thumbs up and check out one of the greatest collections of 2010 NASCAR 1/64 scale diecast. So we're going to be doing a 2010 COT collection video. Let me tell you, I got a bunch of amazing, and I mean amazing diecast. You're going to love this collection video. Give the video a huge thumbs up. Let's jump right into it. So the first diecast we're going to kick off this collection video with is a 2010 Kyle Busch Pedigree Toyota Camry. One of my favorite paint schemes from Kyle Busch's tenure at Gibbs. Such an awesome car. It's even rolling. That's how cool the diecast is. Shame he never won a race in it, though. He actually had a lot of bad luck in the pedigree cars. You got Martin Truex Jr. with a 2010 number 56 Auto Parts, Napa Auto Parts car. That was his first year at MWR. Oh, they're still rolling down the hill. That's unfortunate. I got the Denny Hamlin FedEx Freight Toyota. That's another one of those awesome Toyota paint schemes. We're actually doing a whole bunch of Toyotas to start this one off. This one's a custom diecast I made in 2020. One of a couple Kurt Busch cars I made. This thing is, it's pretty awful. My stuff has gotten probably like 100 times better than this. Anyways, this is back in 2020 when I made this. This is the Kurt Busch Miller Lite Operation Homefront car. That thing, it really just needs to be remade, to be honest with you. The custom quality, like my quality nowadays, like my expectations I put for myself is 100 times higher than that. This is a 2010 Matt Kenseth Valvoline car. Kenseth had a lot of great paint schemes in 2010. Unfortunately, like none of them got made, so that's a shame. The Valvoline car is pretty much the only diecast I think that got made for 2010 for Kenseth. Here's Mark Martin's CarQuest Chevrolet Impala. Very overproduced car, yet still a beautiful one. This one was not overproduced. In fact, it's one of the rarest cars from 2010. Regan Smith Furniture Row Denver Mattress Chevrolet. Well, it's supposed to be a Chevy, but it's a promo diecast that has no manufacturer logos on it. It also has a matte finish on it. Oh my goodness, that car is so freaking cool. Here's another one of those Kurt Busch cars I mentioned. This is the primary Kurt Busch car, largely based off his Daytona car. I think the Daytona car actually had black side skirts, so technically not 100% accurate. But yeah, I don't collect the hood open cars. Some people, it's like, well, you know, you just buy the hood open car. That's a Kurt Busch car. Now, I wanted to make my own, so I made my own. And I only collect the closed casted action winter circle style COTs. I don't collect any of the CFS ones. Those things are ugly as biff, in my honest opinion. If you love them, that's great. I respect your opinion, but everyone has just their own quirks in their collection. My collection's really weird. This is the M&M's Vote car. You know, M&M's throughout the years have had a lot of Vote paint schemes. 2002 they had one, 2010 they had one, and I think 2018 they did as well. That was a very cool paint scheme. This is Mr. Clint Boyer. He won New Hampshire and Talladega, I think, in 2010. This is the Cheerios Primary. Very, very nice diecast. This is a very uncommon car. Michael Waltrip's number 55 Aaron's COT. Beautiful diecast. My goodness, it is metallic finish, chrome wheels. Whoo! That is a Stanley Steamer of a paint scheme. We got Mr. Jeff Burton, the number 31 Caterpillar car. He had a buttload of great paint schemes made, or not made in 2010. I mean, the guy ran so many alternate cars, and they made like 5 of them. No, I'm kidding. They made like 1. This is Greg Biffle's primary. He had a bunch of great paint schemes. Once again, didn't make any of them really, so that's a shame. This guy had a crap load of paint schemes that got made. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s National Guard Chevrolet. This is a revamp from the 09 and 08 cars. They did change up the paint scheme, which, you know, that's always good. It's not as overproduced as the 08 and 09, but it's up there. This is one of the most forgotten Joey Logano paint schemes of all time. And yes, it's a custom, and it's awful because you can see the back windows just pushed in. Again, this was made in 2020. So this is the GameStop Power Up Rewards Toyota from Logano. This was run at Martinsville in the fall, I believe. And that car, unfortunately, never got made officially. This, I think, is Tony Raines. I think it's the number 37 AW root beer car. Awful custom I made, I think, in 2019, maybe late 2018. It's paper custom. It's garbage. I'm sorry, it's garbage. Yeah. This is Kevin Harvick's 2010 Rhesus Chevrolet Impala. I love this car. I didn't even know this diecast existed. And then one day I saw it. It was on the low. It was cheap. Picked it up. I couldn't believe it. I didn't even know he had a Rhesus car for 2010. And sure enough, he did. So you learn something new every day. Nowadays, I pretty much know what all the cars that got made, just about, except for the rare, obscure promos. But growing up, you know, I was like, wow, I never knew that got made. I never knew that got made. This is probably one of the weirdest Tony Stewart cars ever made. It is the Office Depot Grow Greener. Is that what it says? I don't know. Anyways, it's like a nature eco car. I don't know. It's like, it's got a brown roof for the car. It's got green, and the paint job's white. I don't think I've ever seen a paint scheme like that. It's definitely different. I didn't make this car. I actually bought this car. It is the 2010 Juan Pablo Montoya Huggies COT. It's a custom diecast. Now, that car originally ran with the 2011-2012 style spoiler, but again, my collection has to have the same exact spoiler on everything. If it doesn't, it drives me nuts and I'll never sleep. This is one of the most detailed Carl Edward paint schemes ever. It is the Scott's Turf Builder Ford Fusion. I love this car. I mean, the detail on this thing is insane. You have like mountains and rivers. It's just three-dimensional. Pretty much, it's like the Busch Light paint schemes of nowadays, but on the COT. That's how much detail that car has. If you've never seen a diecast review on it, I have done a review on that, I believe. Check that out. This is another cool paint scheme. Ryan Newman's Wix Filters Chevrolet. 2010 to me was the best year of paint schemes possibly ever in NASCAR history. It just seemed like everyone tried. Everyone. I mean, it didn't matter if it was the Matt Kenseth Crown Royal car, Truex running the Napa car, Office Depot car with Tony Stewart, and Denny Hamlin running alternates every week. Or say alternates, but different colors of the FedEx car every week. I mean, 2010 really was, I think, the best year of NASCAR paint schemes. You had so many metallic finishes. Dale Jr. had a bunch of metallic race cars. You had the Red Bull cars, the Kurt Busch Miller Lite cars. It was just a great era for NASCAR, in my opinion. Now we got Clint Boyers. This is actually a promo, by the way. This is the Hartford Chevrolet Impala. The easiest way to tell which one's the 2010 and which one's the 2009 is the 2009 was made on the promo mold, which means it has a Gen 4 style rear side window. The 2010 edition has the actual Chevrolet Impala casting, and this did come in a resealable package. It's like a clamshell, which is pretty interesting. This is another great Denny Hamlin car, the FedEx Office Toyota Camry. Love these Denny Hamlin cars, man. We're running out of room already in the studio, so I'm going to go ahead and back up the camera. And to be honest with you, we're probably going to run out of room entirely for this collection vid. I mean, I'm telling you, we got a buttload of cars. Now, this is another Kurt Busch car from 2010. Let me get the lighting right real quick so you can actually see these. And the axle actually messed up, but I already had it painted, and I didn't feel like repainting it, so I just left it out as it is. And when I put it back in my collection case, I'll fix the position of the wheel so it looks normal. But yeah, I'm okay with that. Anyways, my customs nowadays, I don't... if the wheel's broke, I chunk it. But back then, I'm okay with it. This is a Mike Bliss 2010 Wave Energy Drink car. Now, the decal actually goes over the window, which I think is pretty cool. Fun fact about this car. I accidentally made it on a I accidentally made it on a COT Camry. It's a Chevy. I accidentally made it on a Camry, but it's a Chevy. And the reason why that's funny is because the Camrys are harder to find nowadays because they had less drivers. This is back when it was Gibbs and MWR. And MW cars are mega rare usually. Anyways, it's kind of funny how I made it on the rare mold accidentally. This is a 2010 Brad Keselowski Penske car. This is the Ryan Newman primary for 2010. I don't know if he won a race in 2010 that car. I think it was 2011. I could be mistaken. This car has a metallic finish to it. It's the David Reagan UPS car. The final run of the dark brown UPS metallic paint jobs is in 2011. They would do a revamp. He did find victory lane, though, at Daytona the summer of 2011. David Rudiman with the 2010 primary car. He won a race at Chicagoland. One of the most forgotten wins, arguably the most forgotten win of the 2010s decade. But he won Chicago in 2010 willingly, I might add. It wasn't just a fluke. And it was in the Tums car. Unfortunately, they didn't make it for 2010. They did make a 2011 Tums car, diecast and 1/64 scale. Juan Pablo won Watkins Glen in 2010. Beautiful Target paint scheme. This is one of the best looking UPS cars I think ever made. The UPS Freight 2010 Reagan. This is like an alternate. It's silver, metallic. The brown decals are kind of like, they're metallic-y. It's just, 2010's got to be probably the best year for paint schemes. I mean, look at this. This is a Brad Keselowski 2010 Penske car. This is a year before he jumped behind the wheel of the number 2. Awesome diecast. And this is probably going to be one of, if not the rarest Brad K car, maybe ever. His Miller Lite cars from 2011 and 2012 have just disappeared off the face of the earth. But that one's definitely up there. This is the Mark Martin CarQuest Patriotic car. It's another one of those special 2010 Coke 600 paint schemes. Speaking of which, I remember getting this card. I remember seeing that, oh my goodness, it was available online. And I was like 13 or 14 at the time. And I'm like, holy cow, I gotta have this freaking diecast. Sure enough, they had a couple of them in stock. Bought it. My family bought it for me because I was like 13 or 14 at the time. And I was just so happy to get this car. The David Rudiman Armed Forces Foundation paint scheme. And speaking of the, where is it at? Oh yeah, right here. The 2010 David Rudiman. This car was factory made with black wheels, but I painted over them to give them that signature MWR chrome look. I love authenticity with my diecast, guys. This is a Carl Edwards Cheez-It Kellogg's car. I mean, you can't get more iconic than Kellogg's and Cheez-Its. Oh man. You know, that's what sucks when you're bulk, or when you're cutting, you can't eat all that stuff, right? Because it's just too much calories, not enough macros. But when you're bulking, you're like, okay, give me more. For those who work out, you understand what I'm talking about. This is the Axe Twist car. For those who don't know about this paint scheme, during the race, it was the first Pocono race, I believe. The hood on the car would actually change colors. It was some type of paint. It was like a gimmick. Anyways, it changed colors as the race went on. I don't know if it was like the heat that created a chemical reaction. Whatever it is, it was good for marketing. It was pretty cool. This is like maybe the rarest Jimmy Johnson car ever. I don't know why, but I don't see this car anywhere. And I got it dirt cheap a decade ago. And I literally don't see anyone talking about this car. 2010 Jimmy Johnson Johns Manville car. I believe he ran this at New Hampshire in that year. I have never seen, I don't think anybody post this car on Instagram, do a diecast review on it. I literally have like never seen that car. I'm not even kidding. And what's crazy is it was just a dirt cheap car when I got it back in like 2013 or 2014. And it came in the normal Jimmy Johnson 2010 Hendrick box. So I don't know if it was a promo that just got released in the normal box. They had a production error and made it extremely small quality. I don't know the lore behind it, but I literally don't see that car anywhere. I mean, anywhere. I see more Red Bull diecasts from 2007 than I see that car. Now that's saying something. This is one of my favorite customs I made of all time. Problem is, it's made on blurry decals. This was back in 2019. I really would like to remake this car someday with higher quality decals because I found a better template for it. Surprisingly, it has not yellowed nowhere near as much as I figured it would. I figured this thing would be roached, but it actually hasn't. So it's what, 5 years, give or take. It's actually lasted pretty well. This was made in 2020. It's the Hall of Fame Dale Earnhardt inauguration car. Jeff Burton drove, I think, at the All-Star race. Anyways, this is a very cool paint scheme. It's made on the promo, which makes no sense. But then again, it makes perfect sense because like the Chevy Impala COT is so common. But if it was to actually get made, it probably would be on a promo mode. So it kind of makes sense that way. This car I did not make. It is a Red Bull 2010 Cola or Energy Shot car. The driver is Scott Speed. They had a bunch of different Red Bull drivers throughout the years, so kind of have to refresh on that. This guy won the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 and the Fall Charlotte race, Mr. Jamie McMurray. I absolutely love this car. And you know what's even cooler is knowing the paint color they use for this car. I have it. I have the paint color for that car. So if I ever want to make, you know, some race twin cars for that from that year for my collection, I can. It is a beautiful, beautiful fluorescent. I love that paint color. This is AJ Allmendinger. Yeah, a lot of people forget he was a Petty guy for a couple of years. And I don't say Petty in a bad way. I'm talking about Richard Petty Enterprises. Or actually, this time they were RPM, Richard Petty Motorsports. Anyways, he had an absolute megalodon amount of paint schemes that he drove in 2009, 2010, and 2011. You know how many got made? I don't think more than 5 across those 3 years. Could be mistaken. I'm telling you, guy had a boatload of paint schemes. Boatload. Jamie Mack, McDonald's car. Another great diecast to have. I mean, literally, I'm backing up the camera because we got so many freaking diecasts in the studio. We're running out of room here, guys. And I got probably like 20 cars to go. This is another Jamie Mack. This is the Dale Sr. Hall of Fame car. I think he ran this at the Spring Talladega race. So you have the Jeff Burton and the Jamie Mack. Really, really cool stuff. This is Jeff Burton. Or no, not Jeff Burton, Clint Boyer. He won in the BB&T car in 2008 at Richmond, but no luck. Actually, no, he won Talladega in that car, I think. Yeah, I think he did. He won Talladega in 11 and 10, and one of them was in the BB&T car. So I think he did win in that one. Never mind. It was the Cheerios car he ran New Hampshire with. So I'm going down memory lane. Now, I didn't make this car. If I was to remake it, I actually bought it, but it would be a brighter color. At the time, the decals just wasn't as bright, but now the technology has improved so much. This would be a much brighter red. Anyways, this is a Casey Kane's Armed Forces Budweiser car. Casey Kane, let me tell you, had some awesome alternate paint schemes in 2010. You know how many got made? Like 1. And it was the censored Budweiser car from 2010. I mean, the guy even had an Olympics car that they advertised on QVC, but they didn't make a 164 for it. Absolutely asinine. One of the first diecasts they offered in 2010, I believe it was the Vancouver Olympics Budweiser car. He ran, I think, at the Bud Shootout. Insane stuff. Got Carl Edwards with the Subway Ford. Again, we're running out of room here, so we're just going to just start putting cars wherever. Let me clean up the back end of the pile here so we can have some more room. The next diecast in the studio, it is the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Diet Mountain Dew. I think it was the Paint the 88 car. I did a diecast review on this. I remember one day I was looking at Circle B diecast. This is like 2019, by the way. And they had this car. It was like $9, $10. Yeah, good luck finding this thing. It was brand new, by the way. You never know when they're going to have some crazy cool stuff. Now, that was like 4 or 5 years ago. They still have some COTs over there on their previously owned collection. So if you're looking for some donor diecasts, or maybe you're trying to look for some obscure paint schemes, they could have them over there. Keep checking. Hey, you'll be surprised what I've seen over there for sale. And of course, for all your diecast orders, hey, save on shipping with the promo code Diecast Buffet. Any orders, $30 or more, fellas. Tony Stewart, I'm telling you, had some unbelievable paint schemes. This one is definitely one of them. The Old Spice Matterhorn. Is it Matterhorn? Whatever it is. I mean, it's pretty much the Busch Light car and the Coors Light car, but with a metallic red paint job. My goodness, that diecast is unbelievable. My favorite car or paint scheme of all time in NASCAR history, of every single era combined, is this 2009 Old Spice Swagger car. Unbelievable paint scheme. I'm not sure on this, but I think this was the first ever diecast we reviewed on the channel. I'm not even kidding you. I think I look back, and this is the oldest diecast we've reviewed. I could be mistaken. It is the 2010 Jimmy Johnson Lowe's car. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this was the first diecast we reviewed way back in, like, what is it, September 2018? Way back in time, unfortunately. Like, it's only 6 years ago, but you gotta think about how much crap happens in 1 year alone. You feel me? This is Carl Edwards' primary from the 2010 campaign, the classic Aflac car. I'm telling you, if they ever come back to the sport, they just need to run that paint scheme. Screw trying to redo their whole brand. Just run that car. Everyone loves it. This is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s primary from that year, a revamped Mountain Dew amp car. I tell you what, the color of green that they used on the amp cars is absolutely beautiful. It's like, I don't know what color it is, but it's not a traditional green. It's got like a touch of blue to it, and it gives it kind of just not a seafoam green, but it's just some type of unique shade of green. I love it. This is Mark Martin's primary car from that year. Shame he didn't win a race in it. And a lot of people think of the GoDaddy car. They only think of Danica Patrick, but Mark Martin, even, hey, Brad Keselowski drove the GoDaddy car in 2009 for Hendrick as well. And this one had some factory errors. Unfortunately, you can see the right side number is like screwed up. Good news is this car, I think, was pretty well overproduced. It might be getting rare nowadays, but my point is I could go back and, get another one and just don't, use it as a donor. This is Jeff Gordon's Coca-Cola 600 car. At least I think it was from the 600, or it's from the Pepsi 400. Not Pepsi. The Coke 400. We're literally running out of room here, guys. Tony Stewart's primary car, 2010, the Office Depot Old Spice Chevy. Trying to get these cars safely landed over there. This one's another terrible custom that I made back in early 2020, late 2019. This is the David Gilliland Atlanta car. He ran this at the Atlanta Spring Race. This was one of the final races to have the winglet, by the way. And it's the Taco Bell Charter Air Transport car. I don't know why, but I wanted to make this car. I don't know why. I love random paint schemes, so I decided to make it. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm actually extremely surprised this car is not yellowed, considering the technology I used on this piece. I'm actually pretty fascinated with that. So, even though it is made with very crappy decals, my customs have gotten 100 times better since then. It's really remarkable to think that thing is still tooting away pretty well. Has it yellowed like a urinal. Got Sam Hornish Jr., his Mobil 1 car from 2010. He had a lot of great paint schemes that never got made. Wink, wink. This is Kyle Busch's Snickers car from 2010. Still don't know why no one's done a throwback to this. I mean, am I the only one that just loves this paint scheme? And it does have like a Sharpie mark on there, so that's unfortunate, but you know what, it is what it is. Them Kyle Busch COTs. Whoo, they're rare, but man, I love them. I got a couple more coming. Mark Martin, the Delphi Chevrolet. Another nice paint scheme right there. Mark Martin had like 5 or 6 2010 cars made that year. And that wasn't even all the paint schemes. They didn't even make a couple of them. Kyle Busch's primary car from the 2010 campaign. Another great paint scheme. And I think this is the final car. I could be mistaken. I think this is the final one. Well, I actually forgot one car. It was hiding from me. I guess apparently I don't know Quack, but yeah, this is the this is the Carl Edwards you don't know Quack car. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. You know, it's always fun when you forget a couple more cars. I have 3 more actually. I forgot. Yeah. So we're just gonna keep adding to this video. This car ran at Michigan, I believe it was, in 2010. It's the Marcos Ambrose Armor All car. Whoo! I love this paint scheme. The decals would actually be a little bit better if I remade it nowadays because it'd be brighter. So maybe someday. I don't know. Love that car. This one's kind of wonky, jaw, because it's a white painted car. And I've talked about this a gajillion times on my videos. They love to yellow. I put way too much clear coat on this thing. And you can see it right here where there's a kind of a porous area where like the clear coat can kind of gather up and build. Think of it like a riverbed, if you will. How the rocks kind of formate. Well, guess what? Clear coat does the same thing. It all kind of congregates and then it just yellows. So if I was to remake this car nowadays, it would look a whole lot better. But you know what? You get what you get. Anyways, that's the primary car. Actually, I don't think it is the primary car, and here's why. He ran so many different hood designs and stuff. I think this is his Sonoma car. I could be mistaken. But yeah, that's Marcos Ambrose, kind of a primary-ish. I think this ran at the Fall Martinsville race. Could be mistaken. It could be done a lot better. I really screwed this one up a little bit around the edges. Had to be manually hand-painted. If I was doing this nowadays, I could make it a whole lot better. Anyways, this is the Dollar General. Yeah, Dollar General Country Million Sweepstakes Toyota Camry. I don't know if the logos are accurate because Reed Sorensen ran the Dollar General car in 2010 as well for the number 32. And it had a different font, and you can see that right here. This one has the newer font. And I actually have another diecast I could show that has that font I'm talking about. Right here, you can see this is a 2013 Kyle Busch. I think it's based off a Chicagoland truck. Anyways, you can see the Dollar General font's a lot more modern, and you can see it right there on the hood. And then you look at the side one, and it's, well, it's a lot older. So what I'm getting at is the decal set was inaccurate. If I was making this nowadays, I could get a more accurate decal set, and then I could make it more accurate. Just part of the thing. I made these cars like 4 years ago. And, well, I forgot another one that I had in one of my other cases. This is the 2010 Jeff Gordon Primary from the Winter Circle line. So yeah, another 2010 diecast. And another car that I totally forgot about. This is the 2010 David Rudiman Mitsubishi Electric Aaron's car. I think this one also ran at the early 2010 Spring Atlanta race, I think. This one might be the best one. This one might be the best one. Here we go, guys. Kyle Busch Pretzel M&M COT. Ooh, man, is this car awesome. I'm just saying, the M&M sponsors, they need to come back. They need to come back, and they need to go sponsor Kyle Busch. They need to go sponsor someone. I don't care who they sponsor at this point. Ty Gibbs, Tyler Ray, I can give a hoot. It could be Chase Elliott. They need to come back to the sport. Their paint schemes used to be top notch. Look how cool this car is. I mean, the diamond plate pattern orange, the splitters orange, and people tell me COTs didn't look cool. Come on, man. Alrighty, folks. So that is my 2010 NASCAR COT collection video. I actually think I have a couple more. Yeah, I do. I have like Ryan Newman's Tornadoes car. I think I have another Jeff Gordon paint scheme. But anyways, those are in my curio cabinet, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to open up. I see the Pepsi car as well. So there's a couple more that are not on camera right now. But yeah, they're literally in my curio cabinet, and I would have to move furniture and go through like 100 boxes, like 164 boxes to get to. So yeah, we're not going to do that. Maybe another time. But yeah, this is like 95 to 98% of my 2010 collection. I love COT diecasts. A lot of people throughout the years, they would actually call me like the COT guy or the COT king, because I love collecting these things. It's funny, and they're so rare. And that's why I love them. They're so rare, and a lot of people don't like them, which is kind of funny to me. And I just love these cars. I would say 2010 is probably the heaviest year of COTs I have. 2009, I have a pretty good amount. 2008, a little bit lighter. 2007, not many. They made a crap load for 07, but those are really hard to find outside of the race wins they made that year. So that's all for now, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching the video. Make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. Share with your friends. And tell me which one of these cars is your favorite. I don't know which one to pick. Like, there's so many great looking paint schemes here. Probably would go with the Pretzel M&M car if I had to be honest with you. I mean, that car is just, whoo, that thing is amazing. If I had to pick another one, probably the Reese's, maybe the Miller Lite, or the Matterhorn Old Spice Chevy. That's all for now. Diecast Buffet signing off.